Rama asked, when the mind, the intellect and the ego-sense have all ceased to function, how does that pure being or infinite consciousness appear here? The mind, the intellect and the ego-sense, along with the five senses, are considered to be what constitute our being, our body, or subtle body even. So what's Rama asking here? We've been told in the previous paragraph that having realized the Supreme Being, one does not die, nor does one grieve. But clearly something appears to die. The apparent vehicle by which the Supreme Being was realized passes away. So then how does the pure being or infinite consciousness appear? What form does that continuity take? I think this is what Ram is asking. Vasishta continued, Brahman, which dwells on all bodies and experiences experiences, eats, drinks, speaks, gathers and destroys, but is free from the division of consciousness and its awareness. That which is omnipresent and which is without beginning and end, and which is pure, unmodified, undifferentiated being, that is known as existence, vastu-tattvam, or reality. The light seems to go out sometimes. When we go to sleep, we can easily lose the plot, getting caught up in dreams, or just deep sleep in which there's nothing. But we can always come back to it. We always come back to it at some point. Awareness always comes back to itself at some point. And there's no reason to suppose that death is the end of that. You, for example, are proof of that. Awareness is going on all the time. It's the same awareness. The awareness in which notions of me arise is no different from the awareness in which notions of you arise. It's like saying that the space which I inhabit is somehow qualitatively different to the space that you inhabit. We can certainly describe it differently in terms of location, in terms of time, but that's just a description of it. Intrinsically, the space is homogeneous. And awareness is the same because it's completely uncoloured by what is contained within it. It's completely uncoloured by what it's aware of. This is why I prefer to say, rather than that we have had previous lives and we've had future lives that will be incarnated again, rather than subscribe to that belief, I much prefer the idea or understanding that we're all incarnations of each other. We're all incarnations of awareness, which is fundamentally non-different. And we're not only non-different from each other, we're non-different from everything that arises within awareness. The fundamental nature is awareness, it's the same. So I think this is what Vasishta is saying in reply to Rama's question. He's reminding Rama of the nature of Brahman, this absolute consciousness, awareness. It's free from division. It's known as existence, reality, tattvam, thatness. It's essence. Everything is Brahman in essence. And Brahman, thatness, that exists as space in space, as sound in sound. It is that by which everything is known. We are allowed to make divisions in awareness because there's an infinite variety going on, and our awareness marks that variety, and that variety is thatness. It's emphasizing itself to us. That exists as space in space, as sound in sound, as touch in touch, as skin in skin, in taste as taste, in form as form, in the eyes as sight, in smell as smell, in scent as scent, in the body as strength, in earth as the earth, in milk as milk, in wind as wind, in fire as fire, in intelligence as intelligence, in mind as mind, in the egosense as egosense. These are the qualities by which we know things. So the very fact that we can say this is the wind is because the Supreme Reality is bringing this to our attention as such. So it exists as wind in wind. It seems a very simple and redundant formula, this. But the latter term in each phrase is the notion we've got. And the first term in each phrase is the experiencing of it, is the characteristics of it, is the reality of it, which brings it to our attention. It rises as chitta, or mind in the mind. It is tree in the tree. It is immobility in the immovable, and mobility in the moving beings. It's the characteristics by which everything is known. It is insentience in the insentient, and intelligence in the sentient. It is the divinity of gods and humanity in human beings. In animals it is bestial nature, and in worms it is wormhood. It is the very essence of time and the seasons. It is dynamism in action, and order in order. It is existence in the existent, and death in the perishable. It is childhood, youth and age, and also death. It is undivided and indivisible, for it is the very essence of all things. Diversity is unreal, though it is real in the above sense, that the diversity is conceived of and pervaded by the infinite consciousness. It is real in its thatness. Realize, all this is pervaded by me, for I am omnipresent and devoid of body and such other limitation, and dwell in peace and supreme happiness. Valmiki said, as the sage Vasishta said this, the day came to an end and the assembly dispersed for their evening prayers. So this is the identity we identify with the Supreme Being. It's the nature of our attention, which is our consciousness, and which has got nothing to do with us as individual personalities.